Researchers have been interested in learning about our memory for decades. One phenomenon some researchers study is false memories. A large factor in researching false memories is the serial position effect. Have you ever had a hard time remembering a phone number someone recited to you? Could you only remember the first or last numbers? If so, this is called the serial position effect. The serial position effect refers to the tendency to be able to better recall the first and last items on a list than the middle items. The serial position effect is a result of the primacy and recency effect. The primacy effect is how it is easier to remember the items at the beginning of the list, and the recency effect is how it is easier to remember the items at the end of the list. Have you ever had a memory that you weren't sure actually happened? If so, this is called a false memory. A false memory is a psychological phenomenon where an individual recalls either an actual occurrence differently from the way it took place or an event that never even happened. So, you might ask, how do researchers study false memories? They study false memories by using recall and recognition tasks. Now let's try a false memory recall task. Try to remember the words presented on the screen. Now, pause the video and take a few seconds to write down all the words you remember from the list. Did you write down the word anger? If you answered yes, then you just experienced the false memory phenomenon. The word anger was not presented on the list. Now, let's try a recognition task. Again, try to remember the words presented on the screen. Now, pause the video and take a few seconds to mark which of these 6 words you remember from the list. Did you mark down the word fruit? If you answered yes, then you just had a false memory. The word fruit was not included in the list. False memory recall and recognition tasks include what's called a critical lure. The critical lure is an item that is strongly associated with the lists, but are not presented in the lists. So how do false memories relate to the serial position effect? Well, the serial position curve shows how words in the middle of lists are less likely to be recalled. And due to the serial position effect, the words in the middle of the list, for example, emotion and orange from task 1 and 2, are less likely to be recalled accurately, which makes these words more vulnerable to false memories. Most people experience false memories in their everyday lives, like believing you started the laundry machine before you left for work, or believing you turned the oven off when you actually didn't. Although there has been a vast majority of research on false memories, more research is needed to deepen our understanding of this phenomenon.